welcome to Zzzzz Lessons for Live channel. My name is Xander Villain, and today we're going to be covering Dock of the Bay by Otis. We're going to do this in two parts. The first part is going to be for intermediate players, where I just show you the chords and the structure pretty quickly. The second part will be for beginners, where I can show you the breakdowns of the chords, strumming patterns, and all the intricacies of the song. To jump ahead in the video to that point, go ahead and go down in the description area, look for beginner's lesson with a time code. Click that time code, it'll jump ahead in the video. Thanks, and let's get right into this. Hey, welcome to the intermediate section of Dock of the Bay by Otis. And I'm going to show you the chords that I use for this song, as well as some of the other alternative ones as well. Let's get right into the chords right now. So we got a G, we got a B, which is a B sus2 that I do. You take your middle finger off. And that's a barred B off the second fret. Then we got the alternate is the B seventh chord. You can put your pinky on there if you're going to hit the E string. Otherwise, just do these three, which is, let's see if I can show you here. Those three. It's B seventh. You got your E major. You've got your A. I always add the pinky to give a little top end to it. You got your D chord and your C chord. And then we also have an F chord in there, which I don't grab it with my thumb here. I just do the bottom 5 strings like this. You can also bar it, but I just do it like this. So that's basically all the chords for the song. The way it's played is it's got this flam up. Some people do it out of C to a D on the second string, or the fifth string, the A string. I always did it this way, from the C sharp to the D, instead of. Really doesn't matter, I don't think, if you're playing it for yourself. I'm kind of just showing you the acoustic version here. So the way it starts off is. Sitting in the morning sun. That's that sus2 that I was talking about. A lot of people go ahead and climb up to this as well by going. You don't have to do the climb up, but you probably do have to do the climb down, which is basically a C walk down to an A. Right? So that beginning I was flipping back and forth, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that. Just showing you that you could do it either way and it really doesn't sound that different. So that's basically the opening. Once you do that 4 times, basically you kick into the verse. So it's sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes. Now let me walk up to that B seventh instead. Watching the ships roll in, and I watch them roll away again. Now it goes into the chorus. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. That's an E major, G, up to an A, back to the G, down to the E major. Second verse. So that's basically it for the verse and the chorus. Then there's the fill, which I call a chorus really as well. You could call it a bridge, I guess, where it's looks like nothing's gonna change, which is a G to a D to a C, G to a D to a C, G to a D to a C to a G, down to the F. So at the end there, it does go to a quick G right before the F, up to the D to end that off. And then it goes back into another verse or into the lead. So here's the end of that bridge again. So it's kind of a walk down. This is a tough one to hear because there's so many other instruments on top of the acoustic guitar. And there's a bunch of electric guitar stuff going on too, but I'm not going to get into that. This is just the basics of this song for acoustic. So let's go ahead and move on to the beginner section. Hey, welcome to the beginner section of Dock of the Bay, Otis Redding song. Great song. We're only going to be covering the basic rhythm patterns for the acoustic guitar on this song. There's some really funky, cool stuff up here when it comes to the electric part of the song. So let me cover the chords that we're going to be doing in the song. We're doing a lot of chords in this song, but it's not as complicated as it sounds. So to start with, we're going to do a G. We're going to do a B sus2, which means you don't have your middle finger on. That's a tough one. We can also play it out of a D7 position, right there, with or without the pinky. Just don't hit that E string if you're doing it this way. Then we got a C chord. Then we got a D chord. We got an E major. We also got an F. You've got your A. I always add the pinky to give a little top end to it. Those are the song chords. Now let me show you how to play them. You go ahead and skip ahead if you're a little bit more advanced. You know all these chords already. Let's start with the G chord, which is your kind of your opening chord. That is played like this. And what you're doing is you're putting your middle finger on the 3rd fret of your 6th string, your index finger on the 2nd fret of your 5th string. You're playing your middle 2 strings, the D and the G open. Then you're putting both your pinky and ring finger on the 3rd fret of your 1st and 2nd string. That makes a G chord. You can also take your ring finger off and move it down to the 1st string's 3rd fret. That's also a G chord. The next chord would be your B. Let's show you the first one. This is called a B sus2 bar chord. This is going to be on your 5th string, 2nd fret. You're going to really anchor that index finger on the 2nd fret of your 5th string, but you can also lay it all the way across. That's because you want to get these bottom 2 strings, 1 and 2, right here, with the bottom half of your finger. So you're going to be barring. Sometimes when you want to bar, instead of putting the tip of your finger right there, you want to kind of lay it up above, so it almost looks like you're barring all the way up to the 6th string, but you're not. That way the fatty part of your finger right here is what's laying across the bottom 2 strings. See that? You get a little bit more flesh on the keyboard, on the fretboard, and helps you get that bar chord a little easier. This is a really hard one for brand new guys, so that's a trick that we do a little bit. The second thing you're going to do, so you want the 2nd fret of your 5th string, you want the 4th fret of your 4th string, and the 4th fret of your 3rd string done with your ring finger and your pinky finger, and then the fatty part of your index finger is going to cover the bottom 2 strings, giving you a full bar chord. That's called a, if you had your middle finger on there, which you take off, that would be a B, I think that's a B minor there. That's a B sus2. Another way you can do the B chord is to put your middle finger on the 2nd fret of your 5th string, your index finger on the 1st fret of your 4th string, your ring finger on the 2nd fret of your 3rd string, leaving your B string, the 2nd string, right here, open. Then if you can put your pinky on the 2nd fret of your 1st string. You don't have to do that, especially if you're new. This is kind of like playing a D chord, but reversed, right? You just move it down to the 5th string, right there. It's also called the Jimi Hendrix chord. but that's in the B position. You're anchoring your root note on the B of your 5th string, the 2nd fret, and that's called the B7th. Some people do it that way. I like doing it this way. Then you have your C chord. Your C chord is the bottom 5 strings. What you're doing is you're putting your ring finger on the 3rd fret of your 5th string, your middle finger on the 2nd fret of your 4th string, leaving your 3rd string open. Your index finger goes on the 1st fret of your 2nd string, and then you leave your 1st string open right there. And that gives you a C chord. You're not playing the top string, your E. You have a D chord, which I just kind of quickly showed you there, but basically to do that, you're talking your bottom 4 strings, using your open D, which is your 4th string. Then you're putting your index finger on the 2nd fret of your 3rd string, your ring finger on the 3rd fret of your 2nd string, and your middle finger on the 2nd fret of your 1st string. That's a D chord right there. So that's your C, your D, your G, your B. Now you got an E major in there, which is a pretty standard one. You probably learned that right away, but let's go through it real quick. Open top string. You're playing all 6 strings. Open bottom 2 strings. Then you have your ring finger on the 2nd fret of your 5th string, your pinky finger on the 2nd fret of your 4th string, and your ring finger, your middle finger, on the 1st fret of your 3rd string. That's your E major chord, or just your E chord. This is just floating around out here. Then the tough one, the second tough one besides that B, is going to be your F. But basically it's a bar chord, just like you would, up here, like I was just showing you with that B. If you take your finger off, that's your sus2, and there's your minor. You just move it down to the 2nd fret of your 6th string as your anchor point. That's your F note. That's your E, there's your F, right? That's the one I just showed you, the E major. Here's your F. Basically what you're doing is you're taking the nut right here, you're using your index finger as the nut and barring across all 6 strings, and there's your F major, but instead of playing the top string, you get rid of the 6th string, play the bottom 5, and you use instead of the hard part of trying to get the bottom 2 strings to get covered by the fatty part of your index finger, you can do it with a tip. And you just play the bottom 5 strings instead. And that's your F major. And the positioning on that is just like your E, except you move it up 1 fret. So you got your ring finger on the 3rd fret of your 5th string, your pinky finger on the 3rd fret of your 4th string, your middle finger goes on the 2nd fret of your 3rd string, and then the index finger covers the bottom 2 strings, the 1st and 2nd string, on the 1st fret. That's your F chord. And we have an A chord as well. You have your open 5th string, your A note, then you have your index finger on the 2nd fret of your 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings, creating an A. And if you can reach, I always like putting my pinky on the 5th fret of 1 and 2. Gives a little top end to that. So those are all the chords. The next thing I want to show you is the walk up at the very beginning. You could do that one of 2 ways. I've seen people play it this way, where you take the 3rd fret on your 5th string and you flam up. You pluck this, but you don't pluck it here. You just pluck once. See that? So you're going from your C note, which is your 3rd fret on your 5th string, and your flamming up to the D note, which is your 5th fret on your 5th string, 3rd to the 5th. You can also do it with your middle finger or your index finger here. Either way, you're going from your 4th, your C sharp, to your D. See that? Now what I'm doing here is when you do a G chord, remember that the middle 2 strings are open on your G chord, right? So you got your G chord, like I showed you. And if you play just the middle 2, they're open. So what I like to do when I'm doing it is kind of do a... See how I'm not even playing the whole G chord? I'm just doing the root note, hitting the middle 2 strings, and then going and letting them ring out while I go to this. Sitting on the morning sun, right? So let's go ahead and I'll walk you through real slowly on the first verse. So once you're done with those little flams, it goes into sitting in the G, morning sun, the B, up to the C, I'll be sitting when the... And here's a walk down, evening comes. If you're brand new, don't worry about the walk down. Just do this. Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships rolling, and up to C and down to A. That's when we switch to, I guess you call it the chorus, maybe the bridge. Sitting on the down to the E. You do that twice. And then you go from the G to the A. Back to the G to the E. So those are the 2 main parts. Let me show you that walk down. Then I'm also going to show you a quick walk up to the B as well. So it's sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes. What you're doing there is you're going from the C note, the 3rd note, 3rd fret on your 5th string, and just walking down. 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret, open. G, up to a B, up to a C, walk it on down. And then we go into that bridge or chorus, whatever people want to call it, from the G to the E major, from the G to the E major, from the G up to an A, back down to a G, back down to the E major. And then it goes into the 2nd verse. It's slightly different. I'm going to show you the walk up. Sitting in the morning sun. What I'm doing there is that B7th I was talking about, where it's middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th, index finger on the 1st fret of the 4th, ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd. Right there. It's hard to see because it's so tight in there, but that's it. And you can walk up to it by going G, A sharp, B. So it's sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when walk it on down. G, walk it on up. C, walk it on down. See that? Now, if you're having a hard time getting into these chords because you're brand new, just do root notes for now. And do it with these fingers. Start with you can do it here, but when you do the walk up, you might want to switch it over to your ring finger from your middle finger where you're doing a G chord. grab that G with your ring finger. That way your other two fingers are free right here to go, right? And then go for your C chord. Watch it again. Right? I wanted to go to the chord, but you're going to, this is for you new guys, you're not going to go to the chord, so. Now go to the C, full chord. Walk it on down. Or just G, C, walk it on down. So that's how you would do it if you had a little bit more experience. So let's just take the simple, and I'm going to go back to this chord. That's what I do when I'm playing it live acoustic by myself. I'm like, sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes. Right? And I change the strumming. I keep it real simple. I'll get into strumming in a second, but first I want to show you the other chorus or the bridge, which is the looks like nothing's going to change part. It's going to go from a G to a D to a C twice. Third time. F, D. What I did is I threw a little G in there. You don't have to do that if you're brand new. I usually don't do it live because I'm trying to sing. So what I do is, looks like nothing's gonna change. G, D, C, G, G, C, down to the F. So I guess up to the D, the same. Then it goes, sitting here resting my bones. Back to that B, then up to the C. Walk it on down. All right, so let's go over that other part real slow again real quick. Looks like nothing. I'll even slow it down more. Here we go. Looks like nothing's gonna change. Everything remains the same. I can't do what 10 people, down to the F, guys. So I guess up to the D. And then back to the verse. Sitting here resting my bones, right? Now, if you do want to try to put that G in there, it's on the third one. It's kind of like a walk down. It's like... See that? G, F. So it's... But like I said, I don't even do that when I'm playing it live. I just go straight from the C to the F. Okay, let me show you some strumming. I'm going to go slow, so it's like... Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, walk it on down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, walk it on down. And you can come up or down there. And then sitting up, down, down, 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 up, down. So that's basically the strumming pattern for most of the song, the way I do it. Brand new, you can keep it real simple. downs. Down, 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 down. But if you are brand new and you got the time to practice a little bit, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. Practice on going up and downs, you know, and then try not to count too much, and then you just get into a groove. So here we go, real slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sitting in the morning sun, B up to a C, walk it on down to the A, G up to the B, up to the C, walk it on down. All down strokes on that, by the way. Down, 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 down. Sitting on down to the E. G down to the E. Now G up to the A. G up to the A. Down to the G. Down to the E. All right. G to D to C 2, 3, 4. G to D to C 2, 3, 4. G to D to C 2. Down to the F. 1, 2, 3, 4. D 2, 3, 4. Sitting in the morning sun. Up to the C. Walk it on down. Hey, so that's about it. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the video, please hit like and subscribe. That'll help our channel grow. To check out another video, click this link right here. If you want to check out all our videos in our channel, go ahead and click this link over here. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.